it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to a very special edition of Retro Ranking. This all came about from the live stream a few weeks ago, and someone suggested YouTube was talking about funny stuff, and someone suggested that I should rank comedy records. So I went, yeah, no problem. So I thought, I said, right, we'll do it in a retro ranking. Now the 10, I did 10, and then the honourable mentions were just getting more and more, and I couldn't distinguish them, and in the end I've done 20. So what I've done today is 20 of my favourite comedy novelty type records. I have put a playlist of all the songs that are in there, so if you want to go and have a listen to one, they're all there, and they are in order. So here we go with my favourite comedy records. So coming in at number 20 we have Lily the Pink from Scaffold, and it got to number 1 in 1968. Features Paul McCartney's brother, Mike McGear. I just love this, you know, drink the drink, the Lily the Pink. Remember, I mean, it used to get played a lot on Stu Potts Junior Choice. A lot of these songs did get played on that show, so that sort of my childhood memories. So number 20, Lily the Pink by the Scaffold. Terrific song. Coming at number 19, another song that went to number 1. This is Come Outside by Mike San and Wendy Richard. Yes, the Wendy Richard. Pauline Fowler herself. This is great. It's a proper 60s sort of little song, and you get Come Outside and you get Wendy Richard going, what for? Yeah, it got to number 1. The only reason I know about that one is that my dad had it on single, so yeah, quite funny. Okay, number 18 is from a truly great comic genius. Came out in 1962 again. It's Tommy Cooper's Don't Jump Off the Roof, Dad. Okay, there's this a bit, ooh, you know, it's about someone jumping off the roof, but it's the kid's response. It's, Dad, don't jump off the roof, you're going to make a hole in the yard. If you're going to do this, go and walk into the lake. The kids couldn't care less of what he wanted to do. All they wanted him to do is not ruin the backyard. Quite a funny song. And I mean, love Tommy Cooper. He only had to walk on stage and everyone laughed. Coming in at number 17, this is an oldie, 1960s. Donald, Where's Your Trousers by Andy Stewart. What I like about this, it's all this traditional Scottish singing and all that sort of stuff, and then all of a sudden he stops. He says, well, if we was going to bring this up to date, being 1960, it'd go more like this. And he starts singing it like if Elvis Presley was singing it. Absolutely brilliant and funny. Love that song, it's quite comical. Okay, let's zoom a few years ahead now to 1987 for number 16. Another number 1. Some people hate it, some people like it. I love this. It's Star Trekking by The Firm. On board the Starship Enterprise with Captain Kirk. It's just how the, you know, the Klingons are on the starboard bow. We come in peace, shoot to kill. He's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. I love that song, and I love the video to it as well. Terrific fun. Then let's go back a few years. Coming in at number 15 is from 1975, and it did chart. Got to number 4. It's The Funky Gibbon by The Goodies. Now The Goodies, really funny I loved the goodies as a kid. Just brilliant stuff. It's ever so funny, and yes, I remember that on Top of the Pops. Okay, let's go ahead a little few years to number 14 in my top 20. Well, I think this must have been the first Comic Relief record, and it's Cliff Richard and the Young Ones. I love this. I love the Young Ones. Got to number 1 in 1986. Terrific song, very funny. The video to it's hilarious, which you will see if you watch the playlist. Okay, coming in at number 13, another song that got to number 1, 1974. The Streak by Ray Stevens. This is so funny. He sort of plays this reporter, and there's this one bloke, he seems to be everywhere where this streaker is, and his poor old wife Ethel, because he shouted Ethel, but it was too late. She'd already... Yeah, really funny song. I do like that. Coming in at number 12, another funny comedian. Got to number 5 in 1975, The Funky Moped by Jasper Carrot. Now, this sold because of the B-side, which was The Magic Roundabout. That is so funny. At the time it was a little bit risque, but that's what's it sold on, Magic Roundabout. And the other amazing fact about this, Funky Moped was no less produced by ELO's Jeff Lynne, which is pretty cool. So we go and move up to number 11. This came out in 1962, and it's Terry Scott, My Brother. When I was a kid, Terry Scott used to do adverts for Curly Whirly chocolate bar, dressed as a kid, and this was one of them songs that used to get played on Junior Choice a lot, and I just love it, especially the line that goes about who put a real toad in the hole, who let Grandad in the loo, who put shampoo in Grandma's tea, my lovely lovely brother. Okay, then let's move into the top 10. Coming in at number 10, from 1976, reached number 6 in the top 40, King of the Cops, Billy Howard. I've got this single. At the time, it features all the American cop shows of the time. You got McLeod on it. These are all impressions done by the comedian Billy Howard. Got Columbo, Chief Ironside, Frank Cannon, Steve McGarrett, and the best one though is the end, when he comes and does Kojak, when they all get arrested, and he towards the right at the end, he looks at his lollipop and says, "What's this? Cops making records." Obviously, he did a song called "If." I think that was the thing, but it's a great song. Still got it on single somewhere. Brilliant song. Okay, coming in at number 9, another chart song that charted, number 14 in 1961. Charlie Drake's "My Boomerang Won't Come Back." I just love this. This had a little bit of controversy at the time, about to Black in the Face. Didn't go down too well, and I don't think it would now, but I found a clip of it. Someone put a modern clip of the song animated to the song. I just love it, but "My Boomerang Won't Come Back." Okay, then coming in at number 8 is a little ditty that actually wasn't put onto a single, from 1962, from Morecambe Wise, "Bom You Yatatata." Basically, this is Eric starting to sing "Are You Lonesome Tonight?" And Ernie comes on and says, "How are you doing it all wrong? You need backing vocals." And they get these two guys who are like the writers of the show, and they started going boom you yatta-ta-ta, boom you yatta-ta-ta, and in the end, poor old Eric doesn't start singing the song. He starts singing the whole of boom you yatta-ta-ta, and the rest of the guys and Ernie Wise just carry on singing the song. Absolutely funny sketch, absolutely funny song, and I love it. Okay, coming in at number 7 is one of my favourite comedians. Again, he got to number 1 with this in 1975. It's Billy Connolly and Divorce. A take on Tammy Wynette's Divorce. It's all about his dog going to the VET and being bit in the BUM. And there's the bit of bleeping in there. It's still very, very funny to this day, and I like listening to it. Coming in at number 6, this Bernard Cribbins, he had 2 songs. He had Hole in the Ground, but I love this one, Right Said Fred. I love it. I don't know what they're trying to shift. No one knows to this day what they were shifting, but they took the handles off the roof, and the video I put in was made about this time, and it's very, very funny. Got to number 10 in the charts. Really great song. I really still love that one to this day. Okay then, coming in at number 5, another legendary song, another number 1 from 1971 this time, and it's Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. This is brilliant. It's a typical sort of one of Benny Hill's little songs. I just love it. And Trigger, the fastest horse in the West, and 2-Ton Ted from Teddington, and he drove the Baker's van. And Lily, they lived all alone at number 22. Great song. Again, one of them songs that used to be played on Junior Choice a lot. Okay, coming in at number 4. A great song. This Monty Python, and they've released so many songs. You could have gone with the ones that everyone knows, like Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Now there was 2 from a film from 1983. There was this one, and then there was another one which was a little bit rude, but I went with the Galaxy song. I think this is a lovely song, and I love how it starts. They've just had the live organ down in the sketch, and John Cleese opens up the fridge, and out pops Eric Idle dressed in pink in a white sort of quiffy thing, going, "Does life get you down, Mrs. Brown?" And he goes into this song, and I like the end bit about there's no intelligent, if they can find some intelligent life because there's bugger all down here on Earth. I still like that song. I'll prefer it to Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Now, coming in at number 3, this song has got a lot of history. It's from a book written in 1908. It was made popular song in 1913, and then it featured in a film in 1937. But it didn't it didn't get into the charts in this country until 1975. We're talking, of course, of the brilliant and the best double act in the world, Laurel and Hardy, The Trail of the Lonesome Pine. I love this. Laurel and Hardy, to me, I've watched them so much, and every time I watch it, I still laugh. I just love this. I mean, Oliver Hardy's got a great voice anyway, and he's really sings it. It's got a lovely voice, and Stan was absolutely spot on with this. He started in a link sync, but done by a guy called Chill Willis. It's really deep, and Ollie calls the barman, and he comes, as you know, he gets an hammer, hits Stan on the head, and then he sings the last few lines in sings to falsetto sung by Rosina Lawrence. It's absolutely hilarious. It still makes me laugh today. It's a really good song. Okay, coming in at number 2. Now, I searched high and low for this one. This is off an album that I was brought when I was 4 or 5 years old, and it's Ken Dodd and his Diddy Men. So we got the We Are the Diddy Men, and then how they formed it. You know, all the Diddy Men was on it, and they did Old MacDonald Had a Farm and things like that. But the second track on the album, it's a song that actually was Ken Dodd recorded in 1965. It's called Where's Me Shit. Oh, I just love this. It goes through bits of history. It starts off in the era 1 with Adam, and Eve leads him into the Garden of Eden, and she she offers him an apple, and he cried out suddenly, "Where's me shit?" It's got some of the weirdest lyrics. It's got, "I feel a proper twazzle without me shirt. I've got me tickling tackle and me nicky knocky new, but I must confess I feel undressed like this in front of you." So he moves on from Garden of Eden, and the next verse is all about Napoleon, about his great retreat at outside of Moscow, and he stuck his hand in his shirt, in his coat, and cried out, "Where's me shirt?" And then it's, "I can't go on without this," same sort of thing, "but I just can't go through the snow without me shirt." And the last bit, which he goes to the gunfight of OK Corral. Then he says, "It's got the Clantons and McClory started filing when the gun smoke cleared. Wyatt quietly said, 'Where's me shirt?'" Very, very funny song. Brings back a lot of childhood memories, that song does. Absolutely brilliant. So, my number 1 favourite song, and it has been for a very, very long time. And it opens up with the words said by a certain Mr. Harry Seacombe, who couldn't actually sing on this because of his contract with his other song. And of course it's the brilliant Ying Tong song by the Goons. Peter Sellers and Spike Milligan had 2 chart successes, number 3 in 1956, and then when it was released again in 1975, number 9. Now this song we've had in our house for many a year. So I've always loved this. I just love all the different characters from the Goons singing. It's just so funny, you know. They keep running up and down, and then all of a sudden you get this, and then they start singing like Chip and Dale at the end. Something about it, and I love the line when it says, "When I tucked me in when my mother was 93, and she took me in when I was 93." It's just a thing. I just love the Goons. Brilliant stuff. So as I said, these are all in a playlist if you want to go and have a listen. A lot of these songs still make me chuckle. When I was putting this together, I listened to them. I put them all on the iPod, and I sat there and listened to them again, and it was so funny to listen to some of these songs. There were a couple that I wanted to put in, but because at the time it didn't matter, but now it's not politically correct to. There's another song by Peter Sellers and Sophie Loren, which is quite funny. Anyway, next week we go back to a sort of the normal format for retro ranking, and next week we're going to have a look at new wave sort of poppy group, the Human League. So that's all for today. Tomorrow, of course, is Wednesday, which only means one thing: it's Marathon Wednesday, and tomorrow we have got a marathon. It's Nazareth. another request from a viewer. I think we've got about 25 albums to look at, so that's going to be a long one. So whatever you have doing for the rest of the day, have a fab day. I'm going to do a little, because I'm not doing a live stream this week, I'm going to do a little thing on Thursday with an update and having what's coming on next week. But also in the description I shall put the what we're doing next week, and it also will appear on Twitter, obscure ranking. And if you want to join the Facebook group, just go and find us, Ranking the Obscure, ask to join and we'll let you in. Very easy. We've got 2 other administrators, so we keep an eye on things. So for today, thank you very much and take care.